We start off tonight at the recruiting wall to get you updated on everything that's going on in the portal. And of course, Sean Callahan's here to help us do. Let's start off the most important position, not I-back, quarterback. Let's start off with Anthony Colandrea.
Yeah, Nebraska pivoted quickly. Anthony Colandrea made it official about an hour ago. So, this is relatively breaking news to most of our viewers, but Kenny Minchey was obviously their initial quarterback commit, backed out last night, and Nebraska pivoted quickly, and they go with Colandrea, who's a dual threat, 3-year starter from Virginia and UNLV. He was the Mountain West Conference Player of the Year. Had 10 rushing touchdowns this year, 26 passing touchdowns, cleaned up his interceptions. I know at Virginia, had a higher pick number. Overall, on Pro Football Focus, he scored a 90. So one of the highest graded players at the quarterback position nationally. I mean, there's some thought out there that this is almost a better guy than what Minchey was, because you've got a 3-year proven starter coming in here.
Yeah, he had 9 his first year, 11 last year, and then 9 this year. 4 fumbles, really good runner. You mentioned dual threat, 865 yards when you take out the sack yards. That's over 6 yards a carry. Plus, he's one of those guys, too, that he doesn't really get caught in the pocket a lot.
No, and the ability to score in the red zone, too.
Yep.
Because with the running back questions now, without Emmett Johnson, you need another threat to score on the ground. And you've got a quarterback now that can help you. Now, Nebraska still may go in the portal and add another quarterback, but love this addition, especially the pressure this Nebraska staff was under to get this done, because the longer this lingered, the more worrisome it got, because these big names go off the board quickly. He was at Florida State today, and Nebraska was able to close this down. Georgia Tech was also in play as well to get Colandrea.
Now let's go to offensive line to protect him. Brendan Black out of Iowa State, and then also a guy named Big Tree, which I love, Babalade from South Carolina. Both those guys. Let's start off with Brendan Black.
Yeah, they go to Iowa State. Brandon Black, a multi-year starter as a right guard, can play some center, but this seems like you're kind of heir apparent to Rocco Spindler. A versatile guy with experience, though, that could play really anywhere on the interior. One of the lone Cyclones that's not going to follow Matt Campbell to State College.
More than 30 starts, too. Very experienced guy. Now, Babalade doesn't have as many starts, but he's played both right and left tackle.
So Babalabe, as a true freshman, started at left tackle. Then, redshirted, played the 4-game year last year. Then this year was a starter at right tackle. But you look at this offensive line, Elijah Pritchett obviously figures heavily at the left side. You figure Babalabe and obviously Gunnar Gatula could play guard or tackle. They've got some options there. But, I think with the Lonnie Teasley connection here, this one makes a lot of sense to bring him in. He was a highly, highly regarded recruit coming out of high school.
Yeah, 14th highest. I think he's a guard at the next level, but certainly right tackle here. Let's get into the linebackers. Will Hawthorne's a guy that Nebraska knows really well.
Yeah, Will Hawthorne came to Nebraska's camp over a year ago, picked Iowa State for proximity reasons. He's a 10-800 electronic guy, a 9-8 broad jump, ran, in the 4.5s at Nebraska's camp. So fit all those intangibles. I know they loved him when he came to Nebraska's camp and when he picked Iowa State, but that's what the portal is. You keep those relationships, and Will Hawthorne, a year later, is now at Nebraska.
Yeah, and then Owen Chambliss, definitely a run and hit guy. This is a guy who can go sideline to sideline.
Leading tackler for San Diego State, over 100 tackles a year ago. He's going to come in with great familiarity as Nebraska makes this transition. And when you make a big hire now, a head coach or a coordinator, I think the question people ask is, who are you going to bring with you?
Yeah.
Well, he's now brought 2 guys, and Owen Chambliss being one of the more high-profile ones as the leading tackler.
Yeah, and then in the last 50 minutes, the safety, Dwayne McDougal, who had 4 interceptions and 51 tackles last year for San Diego State.
Yeah, the second Aztec to join Rob Orich in Lincoln, another veteran safety. And look, Nebraska loses Deshaun Singleton. They lose Malcolm Hartzug. They lose Sierra Wright. A lot of movement on the back end. Marquise Buford gone. That needs to get figured out in this 5 defensive back scheme. So clearly somebody that has familiarity, that played a lot for Rob Orich.
And like election night, if for some reason something happens, we'll come back to the wall.
I feel like we have the board here.
Catch up back with you.
Got to show the maps. And
Sean will be there all night in case something happens on air to update us. But let's now talk about how we can hear from you, your thoughts about the portal. You can connect with us on Facebook. Of course, you can do it on Twitter. You can check out our website as well, talking about whatever you want, including the game in Las Vegas or the portal. And then we'll get to as many as your questions as we can at the end of the show. Now time for the sideline survey. Now, this was a sideline survey that actually about an hour ago mattered. If you are not voting for Anthony Colandrea, you haven't been watching the show. So 33% say that. Bo Papula says 50%, and Aiden Childs got 17%, but we know who it is now. It is Colandrea. Let's talk more about what happened at the Bowl and, of course, the portal as well. You guys are both in Vegas. Different reasons. You were working. You were having fun.
I was working.
Okay, sure. What'd you think of the whole atmosphere and everything?
Yeah, I thought it was great. That's the first time being in the Death Star, as they call Allegiant Stadium. No, it's cool. I thought the atmosphere was great. A lot of fans, tons of Utah and Nebraska fans. I mean, seeing about 50-50. 25,000 Nebraska fans seemed about right. Obviously, the start of the game was fantastic, and ending was, we all know how that went. But the venue was great. I know Nebraska wants to get above the bowls, the tiers above of Vegas, but it's a great spot to go for these guys to go and experience and have fun. But yeah, that was, believe it or not, that was my first game that I had been into in person this year, was the bowl game. But yeah, it was. I'd go back and do it all over again. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know you were very excited about at least one player during the game. Makai Nelson finally got his opportunity.
Yeah, I like the backfield.
Yep.
I think it's competitive. I think Coach Barthel does a super job. I'm a big Makai Nelson fan. I think Ike is really, really going to be a good player. I have a soft spot for Ike because I only played running back for 1 year.
Yeah.
Coming out of high school, so I get the transition and the degree of difficulty. But with Nelson, he's going to continue to grow. He's a tough kid. He's an explosive kid. And I think he's waiting for his opportunity. He takes really good care of the football. And that room is highly competitive. Jamal Rule will be a good addition to that room as well. They may get one, but they're not going to go out of their way.
Right, because it's loaded, right? I mean, in terms of bodies, because you got Booth, you got Rule added in, Ives. We don't talk about Kenneth Williams either. It's another guy in that room.
It's a good room.
Yeah.
And listen, I mean, people can roll their eyes and scoff or however they feel about the running back situation, but it's the exact same sentiment they had a year ago with EJ before he had the year he did. So when you talk about a collection of talent, it's greater going into this year than it was last year in terms of athleticism.
Yeah, don't forget that he was a fourth string.
Yeah.
And then ended up being the Big Ten back of the year. How'd you think TJ played? We talked a lot about bringing a quarterback out of the portal. We already got a quarterback on the team who's got 4 starts. What do you think about the way he played?
I think they protected him a little bit, obviously, with coming off the hamstring injury, not him being able to practice a lot leading up into the bowl prep. Got to use his legs a little bit, but they tried to run the football. They ran it successfully early. Yeah. Makai Nelson, after the great start, and Nebraska was moving the football well against a pretty darn good Utah defense in that first half. What I just didn't expect to see was Nebraska's kind of inability to stretch the field with the deep ball. I thought they would have that a little more. They'd be able to attack downfield a little more.
0 of 8, 15 or more.
Yeah, so I just the miscommunication, whatever it may be, listen, I thought they have that ability to do some of those things against this Utah defense. Listen, I know, like I said, the lead up to it, didn't get to practice a ton, but I see what they see. I like TJ. I like his arm strength. I like his mobility. I like his poise for being a very young player. And I like him going in and getting these reps and getting the bowl practice and getting these live bowl reps, I always say, in the bowl prep, leading into this offseason, leading to spring ball. And with Colandrea coming in, man, it's gonna be a great competition to see who comes out ahead this fall.
Talk about early in that game, because there were a lot of people who I really respect online. We're talking about how the offensive line looked different and they saw things in it. What did Jeep have a chance to do over those practices to get them kind of changed around a little bit?
So that's a fantastic question. I think being there as long as I was and seeing those guys early at Gorman, jump protection is a little bit different. The quick game, getting the ball in and out of their hands, they're really aggressive at the point of attack. And the technique is different. Thumbs up versus thumbs down and out. So some of that is a little bit different from a technique standpoint. I also like the fact that they spent a good chunk of time. They worked a ton of doubles and ISOs with pins and pulls, a lot of half-line type stuff as they were working with a group. So that was probably the one group that I was the most concerned with during the transition, because that group was the tightest with their former coach.
Sure.
That offensive line rallied around Donnie Raiola. So, I was interested to see that, but, Jeep Wade he jumped in with both feet. Super aggressive. He's got a great spirit. He's got this personality. It's a different kind of offensive line. A lot of times those guys are just about them, right? They're very, now he's intense. He's got that part down.
Yeah.
But he's got a very good personality. I can see why he's highly regarded as a good recruiter. He and Teasley, that'll be a nice tandem because he's got a nice aura about him.
Yeah, and he says window instead of window, and so you want a guy like that be coaching offensive.
Yeah,
you want a good Southerner to be coaching offensive.
He commands presence.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I think you'll see.
As a defensive lineman, you watch a guy like Devin Dampier. Who, the reason why, I talked to Damon before the season, I thought Utah could maybe be a team we could talk about national championship or maybe Heisman Trophy. He gave those guys some struggles.
He did. He gave a lot of defensive struggles all year, his athletic ability. And surprisingly, I didn't, when Coach Rhule's postgame press conference saying, Utah was 5-7 last year, but obviously Dampier was not there. But his ability to throw it, his ability to move around the pocket, it made, I think Nebraska does have to get more athletic in the front seven. But I tell you what, he would give anybody the most athletic defense fits. I mean, his ability to step up in the pocket, utilizing him in the run game, 11-on-11 football. You have to play very sound, disciplined football at all levels because of his ability to keep it, bootlegs, his scramble, and this ability to plaster in the secondary. When he moves out of the pocket, it gets so difficult, and he hit so many third and longs and fourth down plays, and then you think Nebraska's in a great situation going off the field. He's able to escape around there, put his head down, get a first down. But again, the secondary not being able to plaster in those situations and stay on those wide receivers and that great tight end that Utah has, it was fits, and it was just too much for Nebraska's defense all game long. And the inability to get off the field on those third down plays just crushed this defense and any momentum that Nebraska was able to stabilize.
You got to tackle. 13 missed tackles total, 8 out of the secondary. There were times where guys were in the right spot and just couldn't get him down. That's why so many third and fourth downs, as you've mentioned.
Yeah, it's a bugaboo, and I think Nebraska, there's a couple things I think that they've got to do defensively. Number one, you need a little more physicality at the point of attack. Some people call it knockback. Some people talk about playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Whatever you call it, getting into guys has to be a thing. When you play an odd front, a lot of times you're short a gap, so you have a guy or two gapping. So if you're not going to play with any sort of four eyes or some sort of like a tight front, then you have to be violent. Outside of that, it's just being hesitant, right? If your first level sets the tone, the second level makes them right, and the third level fits off that. When you're tentative, playing downhill, you can look really slow. And I don't think they played with a ton of confidence, especially on the second level and the third levels. I didn't have so much of a problem with defensive line play. It's just when you arrive, you got to get there with bad intentions. And I think one of the ways that they can correct that is make sure you're getting live, good shooting your shot in practice, because you have to see what it's like to play cloudy clear and have some peekaboos when you've got to fit in the run game at a violent, high rate of speed. You have to practice it because the league is too good. With mobile quarterbacks, you're forced to play 11-on-11. There is no free safety. So if you're not going to get off blocks, conceptually, you have to figure out how you can get +1.
And as you know, all the rules, for the most part, lean towards the offense.
It's ridiculous.
Make it difficult on you. That second level, though, with only 2 linebackers on the field, those guys have to run.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yes, you want to talk your back 7 guys there. I mean, you have to sideline to sideline, right? And you have to understand where you fit, your flows.
And you're either in your pass drops or you're playing at 45s. You're not playing lateral.
Right.
There is no lateral in this defense, and we saw a little too much lateral.
And it's just the ability to, and that's just the thing, is communicate. But I think something that you saw a lot more from Phil Snow, obviously helping out with the defense more with Butler being gone, is the eye discipline. Nebraska's ability to do that. I do think, to what DB said earlier on being a little hesitant, I don't know if that had anything to do. You'd heard that they're trying to implement some new calls with the new defense that'll be implemented this in the spring with Oric. But the eye discipline at times just is not good enough on the play actions and just seeing what your route tree all those things. But it's when you play a quarterback like that, and you have to, in like the plaster situations. I say plaster, quarterbacks out of the pocket, and it's those route tree combinations are completely broken down. You got to find your guy and you got to lock onto him. And Nebraska didn't do a good enough job of that with Dampier, but the secondary was darn good all year. But the lack of ability to get hands on footballs and get some interceptions was quite surprising. Kind of the back half of the season.
Eye discipline, I thought, was huge. Right, you go 3-by, a little short motion, the crack replace. They run the wheel.
Yep.
Off of it. I mean, you can't. Like, you got to be better than that. And I think they understand from a sequencing standpoint. You get so tentative because you've been beat with something. So you saw, starting a 3-by, number 2 would go short motion, then they run the wheel. You get a couple safeties that fall asleep. Well, what had happened is they had been running the ball off of it, and you have to crack replace. So you see the guy come inside, and you got to get downhill, and then all of a sudden they throw off of it in run action. And it's like, oh bleep, here we go. So I think the eye discipline thing was big. And the cool thing about Utah's, cool if you're a Utah fan.
Yeah.
Is you have 2 runs in one play plus the pass option. So they're always getting you schematically with the triple threat. And when your quarterback balances the playing field, you better get off blocks.
You look at the 2 schools that did the best against them, BYU and Texas Tech, both of them, good safety play and great linebacker play.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you're going to slow that team down.